You work hard, you give your best, but your account never seems to balance and wealth feels like it's always just out of reach. You're trapped in a loop, constantly chasing money while it runs faster than you can catch it. Here's what nobody tells you. The problem isn't your luck. It's not how much you earn. It's not even how hard you work. It's something deeper. And Japanese culture figured this out decades ago, while America keeps spinning its wheels. My name is Kei. I'm Japanese and I spend way too much time comparing how Japan and America handle money. Spoiler: Japan wins on savings rate and financial peace. America wins on credit card rewards programs and stress levels. I'm here to explain the psychological shift that Japanese people make early and Americans avoid until it's too late. If you're tired of working harder while staying broke, hit subscribe and drop a like if this changes how you see money. Here's why this matters. You wouldn't train for a marathon while telling yourself you hate running. You wouldn't learn guitar while believing you're bad at music. But somehow everyone manages money while carrying beliefs that guarantee failure. Money is hard to get. Rich people are greedy. I'm not good with numbers. These thoughts are invisible chains, and they're bankrupting you. Secret 1. Money is a mirror, not a monster. Let's talk about how Americans treat money for a second. You want to be rich, but you talk about money like it's your toxic ex. Uncomfortable, shameful, something polite people don't discuss at dinner. Then you wonder why your relationship with it stays dysfunctional. Meanwhile, you're working overtime, cutting coupons, and still panicking at 3 a.m. about whether you can afford both groceries and the electric bill. Japanese culture doesn't romanticize or demonize money. We treat it like a tool. My grandfather repaired watches, he loved his tools, cleaned them daily, stored them properly, used them with respect. Money got the same treatment. Not worshipped, not feared, just respected. Here's the psychology that changes everything. Money doesn't corrupt you, it amplifies you. If you're generous, money makes you more generous. If you're responsible, money makes you more free. But if you're disorganized, money will slip through your fingers like sand. The problem isn't the money, it's the pattern. Most people carry automatic thoughts that sabotage success before it starts. Money is the root of all evil. Rich people are selfish. I'm not good enough. Being wealthy means being greedy. These aren't facts. They're stories you heard once and repeated until they became your operating system. In Japan, we have a concept that roughly translates to money follows good character. Not karma, not manifestation. Just the observation that people who treat money with respect tend to keep it. People who treat it like an enemy or a savior tend to lose it. Your relationship with money is emotional, not rational. You can learn to invest, budget, and optimize. But if deep down you believe money is bad, you'll always find a way to sabotage yourself. One action today. Write down 3 beliefs you have about money. Then ask, is this actually true or is this just a story I inherited? Most of your money problems live in that gap. Secret 2. Time is the currency. Money is just the exchange rate. Here's where most people mess up. They think getting rich means working more hours, so they take overtime. They add a second job. They wake up at 5 a.m. and collapse at midnight. The harder they work, the more trapped they become. Japanese culture figured something out during our post-war recovery. Working yourself to death doesn't build wealth. It builds exhaustion. Real wealth comes from leverage. Systems that work while you sleep, assets that compound while you rest, knowledge that multiplies your output without multiplying your hours. Smart Sam asks, how can I earn more while working less? How can I make money work for me instead of constantly working for money? He builds side income streams. He automates savings. He invests in index funds that grow whether he's working or sleeping. Broke Brian trades hours for dollars and wonders why there's never enough. Brian is really committed to proving that hard work alone is the answer. It's not. Hard work plus leverage is the answer. Let me make this concrete. You have 24 hours, a billionaire has 24 hours, a person living paycheck to paycheck has 24 hours. Everyone gets the same ration. The difference is how you spend those hours. Average people focus on saving money. Wealthy people focus on saving time. And when you value your time, you start spending money more wisely because everything is connected. Japanese people understand this viscerally. We have some of the longest work hours in the world, true, but we also have some of the highest savings rates. Why? Because we separate effort from output. We automate what can be automated, we systematize what can be systematized. We don't glorify busyness, we optimize effectiveness. My father worked fewer hours than his American colleagues, but accomplished more. He protected his deep work time like a samurai guarding a gate. No interruptions, no multitasking, full focus on what actually moved the needle. Everything else was delegated or deleted. Here's the shift. Stop asking, how do I work harder? And start asking, how do I work smarter? Stop trading time for money and start building assets that generate money. That's the real game. And when you change the question, you change the answer. Secret 3. You are the asset. Everything else is secondary. The third secret that Japanese culture teaches early: before buying expensive things, invest in yourself. Not in a vague self-help way. In a ruthlessly practical way. Education, skills, health, mental clarity, network. When you invest in yourself, you increase your value in the marketplace, you improve your decision-making, you become better at spotting opportunities, you build resilience. These aren't soft skills, they're leverage multipliers. A person who reads 30 minutes daily compounds knowledge faster than any stock market return. A person who takes care of their health avoids medical bankruptcy. A person who builds genuine relationships gets opportunities before they're public. Smart Sam spends 10% of income on books, courses, and skills that increase his earning power. He treats personal development like Japanese people treat their tools: maintained, sharpened, respected. Broke Brian spends 10% of income on lottery tickets and premium streaming services. Brian thinks investing in himself is expensive. Actually, staying the same is expensive. In 10 years, Sam has options and expertise. Brian has the same complaints and a Netflix watch history. Let me prove this breathes in real life. I met someone who earned very little and had crushing debt. They felt hopeless, thought they'd never escape, but they decided to change. Started studying personal finance with free YouTube content, changed habits, made small investments in online courses, little by little organized their finances. Today they're not a millionaire, but they're at peace. Debt-free, emergency fund built, even investing. Most importantly, they changed their relationship with money and their way of thinking. The greatest asset you have isn't your car, your house, or your job. It's your ability to learn and grow. When you invest in that, everything else becomes easier. Opportunities appear. Income grows, options multiply. This isn't magic. It's compound effects of small, consistent improvements. Japanese people call this kaizen, continuous improvement. Not dramatic overnight transformations. Just boring daily progress that stacks like interest. Americans want the million-dollar idea. Japanese people want the 1% daily improvement. In 10 years, the 1% wins every time. Now here's where the obstacles show up. Changing your mindset isn't easy. You'll face doubt, fear of failure, procrastination, old beliefs screaming that this isn't for you. These barriers are normal. Everyone who achieves financial success has faced them. The difference is in recognizing these obstacles and deciding to face them anyway. Question your beliefs. Are they really true, or are they just stories you've heard and repeated for years? When you think, "I'm not good with money," is that a fact or just something you decided once and never challenged? In Japan, my mother kept a kakeibo for 40 years, handwritten budget journal. Every single purchase recorded. Not because she loved paperwork, because writing it down made spending real. It forced her to face patterns, to see where money actually went versus where she thought it went. This is psychological friction as a feature, not a bug. Your brain lies to you about money. It minimizes impulse purchases. It inflates the value of things you bought to justify the decision. It compares your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. The only way to break that loop is to create external accountability. Write it down, track it manually, make your brain face reality. Here's your action plan. 3 steps you can start today. Step 1. Practice gratitude. Not vague, "I'm blessed" nonsense. Concrete gratitude. Instead of focusing on what you lack, write down 3 specific things you have that support your financial life. A job, a skill, a friend who gives good advice. This shifts your brain from scarcity to abundance. And abundance thinking spots opportunities that scarcity thinking misses. Step 2. Daily learning. Spend 10 minutes every day learning something new about money, finances, or personal development. A video, a podcast, an article. The medium doesn't matter, the consistency does. Japanese culture normalizes lifelong learning. We don't stop studying after school ends. Americans graduate and think they're done learning. That's the wealth gap right there. Step 3. Invest in yourself. Even small, even symbolic. Buy one book, take one online course, set aside money specifically for growth. The amount matters less than the attitude of investing in your own capability. Smart Sam sets aside 5% for self-improvement. Broke Brian thinks he can't afford it. Actually, Brian can't afford not to. Here's the contrast that stings. Smart Sam treats money as a tool, time as his most valuable resource, and himself as the primary asset worth developing. He tracks spending manually for 1 week per month to catch patterns. He automates savings before impulse can interfere. He invests 10% in skills that increase his earning power. He asks better questions, not how do I work harder, but how do I build leverage? Broke Brian treats money as the enemy or the savior. He trades hours for dollars and wonders why he's always tired and broke. He believes working harder is the only answer. He spends on things that depreciate and wonders why wealth stays out of reach. Brian thinks mindset is fluffy self-help garbage. Actually, mindset is the operating system that runs every financial decision you make. The difference isn't intelligence, it's not luck, it's not even starting capital. It's the mental framework, the lens through which you see money, time, and personal growth. Remember that feeling of being trapped in a never-ending loop, constantly chasing money? That's not about how much you earn, that's about operating with a broken mental model. Japanese people aren't smarter about money. We just inherited a framework that works and stopped questioning it. Money is a tool, not a moral test. Time is your real currency. You are the asset worth developing. These aren't Japanese secrets. They're just principles that Japanese culture reinforced for generations, while American culture taught the opposite. You can adopt this framework tonight. Question 1. Limiting belief about money. Spend 10 minutes learning something new. Invest even $5 in your own growth. These aren't Japanese, they're just effective. The greatest secret the wealthy know isn't exclusive or unreachable. It's available to anyone willing to change their mental operating system. Start thinking differently. Act differently. Don't let inherited beliefs hold you back. Subscribe if you want more Japanese money principles that work in America. Like if this helped you see money, time, or yourself differently. And take one action before you close this tab. Because knowledge left idle is potential left unrealized. Which secret are you going to apply first? Drop it in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.